Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. You have to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh, and his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikad, Korash. Double honors to the apostles and other bishops and elders of Great Millstone who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, ready concepted or not. In a sense, his salutation taught the ark and pushing his truth and believing his truth with full winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening learning. If you sisters who are listening learning. Coming at you another lesson, truth, fact, faith, and edification, another daily edification, Lord, wouldn't be edified. So I titled this lesson, Bullies Don't Last Long, just as a carnal, wicked king's rulership doesn't. And I got 3 articles, and I was going to show them on the screen, but every time I put the articles on the screen, Esau frees up my computer, man. He frees up the screen. But when I put the blue letter Bible on the screen to read these precepts, they don't freeze the screen up. And every time I do these articles and put these articles up, they freeze up the screen. So I'm just going to read them from my phone. And I just want to show the titles of the articles in the first paragraph. But every time I use these articles, Esau frees up my screen. I don't know why. But this first one say the de-dollarization drive is spreading wider. Indonesia is the latest nation to join the anti-buck movement. Now it reads, Indonesia appears to be the latest country to jump on the de-dollarization bandwagon. The island nation has launched a national task force to promote local currency transactions. The move is expected to help make the rupiah more stable, more stable and support local financial markets. Bank Indonesia said the international campaign against the dollar's dominance of global trade and investment flows is pulling more countries in. Indonesia is the latest to join the movement, which is that they are, as the Lord set up in Ezekiel 38, this guard, okay, the guard to these nations. It said the island nation has announced formed a nation, a nationalakia. The island nation has announced it's formed a national task force to widen the use of local currency transactions with partner countries, according to Indonesia's central bank. Now we know that Esau Edom controls all this. The elites, they control all this, and it's all leading to the micro C hill. But this is a strong, important point that's being made. Show you who's in control. But at the same time, as we know, Job 9:24 said the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, controls all the currencies. Now, this is another article. Hold on. I just saw something else. Hold on 1 second. Let me go back to this. It says, this is another one. The US dollar just formed a golden cross, which could cause trouble for the rest of the nations, right? And this is, now that's what I was going to mention. In one article that I posted, that I put up, they didn't bother it because it's talking about, it's titled, France, the finance minister warns BRICS. That one, the computer didn't freeze on. because it's talking about America going against what's being said. Let me read this next article. This is it say two BRICS countries. Now these are the two I put up. The one I just read and this one. And my computer kept freezing. It kept buffering. But when I put the other one up, it didn't buffer. Show you how Esau and them be watching, man. Now this say the BRICS alliance is advancing by putting local currencies at the forefront of global trade, not the US dollar. The newly joined members of the bloc, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, are partnering with existing members, India, China, and Russia, to settle oil trade in local currencies. So I want to just read the top of this article. It say two BRICS countries settle oil trade in local currency, this US dollar. The BRICS alliance is moving by putting local currencies at the forefront of global trade, not the US dollar. The newly joined members of the bloc, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, are partnering with existing members, India, China, and Russia, to settle oil trade in local currencies. It says first and foremost, India purchased 1 million barrels of oil from UAE and settled the transaction with the ruble. The Indian Oil Corporation initiated the payment in rubles with the UAE's national oil company. It says, secondly, India initiated another trade deal by purchasing gold worth 1.7 million from the UAE. All the deals between the two BRICS members occurred in mid-August of this year. Thirdly, India and Saudi Arabia are discussing. India and Saudi Arabia have Salakia. It's a India and Saudi Arabia are discussing ways to conduct business without the US dollar. India and Saudi Arabia have initiated talks to settle trade in local currencies, ending their reliance on the US dollar. It is reported that the two countries might conclude to settle oil in their respective local currencies. He's got also read U.S. and Europe, U.S. and European Union reacts to BRICS expansion. It's a in conclusion, BRICS members, India and the UAE are the two countries that settle oil in local currencies. India and Saudi Arabia are looking at ways to end their dependency on the U.S. dollar. It's a to know the impact on U.S. economy if BRICS completely ditches the dollar for global trade. So it's a BRICS convincing more countries to use local currencies for oil and not US dollar. And this is what's happening. And that's why I titled this lesson this, man. Bullies don't last long, man. In America had they reigned for a long time. They had a nice little run. Ain't gonna even say a long time, man. They had a nice little run though. It's a if the BRICS begin to settle oil in local currencies, the demand for the US dollar will decline in global markets. A dollar decline leads to turmoil in the U.S. economy as America will find fewer means to fund its what is this let me hold on. I don't want to pronounce this word wrong. Let me get it. Bear with me here for a second. Deflect. Let's look this word up. Deficit. Salakia. So let's go back. I don't know why I didn't know that. Anyway, let me go back to this again. So again, it said if the BRICS begin to settle oil in local currencies, the demand for the US dollar will decline in global markets. A dollar decline leads to turmoil in the US economy as America will find fewer means to fund its deficit. So these are the two articles I want to use. Now the third article is titled hold on. Let me see. Let me type it in here. Bear with me. Finance minister warns. Now this is when I put this one up, they didn't even buffer the screen on this one because it's America talking trash against, but they all on what's this Watcher Guru. So this will say let me type it in, bear with me here. So this one is titled Finance Minister warns BRICS says de-dollarization leads to disaster. Now, hold on. Let me put it up on the screen. Because I went back and forth through these three for a minute. Didn't even do nothing. So right here, Finance Minister warns BRICS says de-dollarization leads to disaster. Right? So let's just want to show it to you. Because on this one, they ain't even bother by buffering the screen on this one. But I'm gonna put it back on just want to show you. I'm gonna read from the article from the phone. Esau's kingdom is falling, man. And as the prophecy said it would in this prospective time. So let's read this again. Finance Minister warns BRICS says de-dollarization leads to disaster. Now that's what I want to show. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go back and do this. This is what I want to show in this article. Salakia. The Lord said, the pride of our heart have deceived thee. So I want to show this one part. So right here, if you can see on the screen, I don't know what the hell this is. Auto glass repair. It shit need to be moved. So right here on the screen, you can see the pride of Esau heart. They got their $100 bill over all the top currencies that the other nations' currencies. That's what I want to show. That's the pride of Esau, man. So in the article, it say the BRICS alliance is advancing de-dollarization efforts by using local currencies for international trade settlements. Developing countries are looking to distance themselves from the dollar and promote their native currencies instead. Challenging the US dollar's global reserve status comes with risks, as the greenback controls the majority of global transactions, which we know. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. The elites control both sides of everything that goes on, man. So don't get it twisted, because the elites control all of this, man. Again, it says as the greenback controls the majority of global transactions, undoing the dollar could also bring developing countries to their knees. This is the pride of these bastards, as the USD is the strongest currency in the markets. See, this is the pride of America, man. It's a evaluating the risk of de-dollarization. Zimbabwe's former finance minister Tadil Bidi warned the BRICS that undergoing the US dollar leads to economic disaster. The comment comes at a time when Zimbabwe's President Emerson, whatever, requested to join the BRICS funded new development banks. See, this is them talking down. It's a Biddy warned President, whatever his name is, that if Zimbabwe blindly followed BRICS in de-dollarization, the country could plunge into financial turmoil. He stressed. See how Esau now he got it buffering. See, now they want to mess with it. It say he stressed that de-dollarization will lead to a disaster that could take years to undo the damage in the economy. See, this is them. So let me get this out the screen. I just want to show that how they got their dollar over top of everybody else's. Let me go back to this because Esau. Every time I go into these articles, because these articles be hitting home, man. And these articles is from them, man. This is them talking. The lesson I did about a month ago, Esau speaking the prophecies that the Lord said about them, man. So right here, the regime is intent on de-dollarization. This move will be an absolute disaster and will cost workers and pensioners. Said Bit. He warned that conditions for de-dollarization don't exist, and local currencies dominating the world are a figment of imagination. See, this is the pride of these Edomites. Now, Zimbabwe dollar got destroyed because of the petrodollar, man, because of Esau Edom. So now he telling him, now they telling the president of Zimbabwe, don't join BRICS. This nigga said, let's read it again. This nigga said you walking into you are walking into what he said, a ditch. Let me go back to it. These bastards is something else, man. Let me see. Right here, it's a Biddy warned president of Zimbabwe that if Zimbabwe blindly followed BRICS in de-dollarization, the country shall plunge into financial turmoil. So he's saying they blindly following the BRICS. No, the Lord got these nations doing this, man. Let's get Ezekiel 38 real quick. This is not blindly following anything. So then he got to speak against Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia just joined BRICS. Argentina just joined BRICS. He got to say that against China, India, South Africa. Iran just joined BRICS. And although are all these countries blindly following the BRICS? Let's get this real quick. This is the pride of these devils, man. They see their country falling. If you listen to Peter Schiff, economists who own gold and silver, man, and all he keep talking about is we're about to go back to gold and silver. So just want to read this point, Ezekiel 38:7. But it says, be thou a guard and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company, that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So if Zimbabwe put in the application to join BRICS, they're not blindly following the BRICS, man. This is prophecy. The Lord set them up, but we know the Edomites don't understand prophecy, man. Actually, they don't understand anything because the Lord said the wisdom that he gave these bastards is foolishness, man. They don't know what's going on. How he but that's only for the remnant to understand, man. So I want to read, because what we got watching is America. We know the Russian is Edomites, and the Lord got them cleaving to another type of Edomite, which is the Russian would be one them real Edomites. Them would be the real Edomite. That's what the Lord said. Matter of fact, let me get this. In Ezekiel 28:7. See, the Russians, the Gog and Magog, that's a different type of Edomite, but they still Edomites. Ezekiel 28:7. See, America's wisdom is gone, man. They don't, that's what the Lord say, is there no more wisdom in Teman. Behold, therefore will I bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations. Who are the terrible of all the nations? It's the Edomites in Russia, man. The American Edomites, the Turkey Edomites, the Israel Edomites is nothing, man. Those the Russian, the Israeli Edomites, that so-called got the wisdom. They don't got no power. The power is with the Russians, man. Behold, therefore will I bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against thy beauty of thy wisdom. See, the Lord said he's drawing out Russia, not for their wisdom, for their swords against the beauty of America's wisdom. And they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit. I keep bringing this point out. Who is they? Edomites. And thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. So it said they shall bring them down to the pit. When you go to Second Ezra, over and over, same precepts have to come out, man. Because the Lord is using Edomites to destroy Edomites. He ain't using Chinese or Japanese. He ain't using the Arabs. No, he's using so-called white people to destroy so-called white people. Second Ezra 11:39. And it reads, Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Who? The Edomites. That the end of their times may come through them. Remember it said in 2 69, Esau is the end of the world, right? Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts? When you go to Daniel 2, when you go to Daniel chapter 7, it talks about these four beasts. Matter of fact, let's put all this together. Daniel 2:38, and it reads, And whereas the children of men dwell, let's start at 37, because this is Daniel talking to the king of Babylon. This is Daniel 2:37. O thou, O King of kings, O thou, O King, are the King of kings, for God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. And the head of gold is Babylon. After thee, there shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, that be Medo and Persian Empire, and another third kingdom of brass, that'll be the Greek Empire, starting with the so-called white man. Okay, Alexander the Greek. Alexander the Greek was the beginning rulership of the so-called white man's rulership. It say, and another third kingdom, Daniel 2:39, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth, the known world at the time. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, which will be the Roman Empire. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. So, Second Ezra 11:39 again. Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, which I just read to you, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? So in Jeremiah, and Shalom to all the Akim walk tuning in, Yahba Shema Shabbarakatham. In Jeremiah 50 and 45, it reads, Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon, and his proposes that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the least of the flock? Those that's occupying the land of Israel right now, who call themselves Israelis. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, the Edomites. And when you read in Revelation, this is Revelations 13:1. And I stood upon the center of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, which Yahushua is coming to take. And upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, which I just read. And it said another third kingdom of brass, which was the beginning rulership of the so-called white man. It said again, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, which would be the end of that rulership, which is the Romans, which is Salakia, the Russians.
the guard, and they always talk about in the news how America's poking the bear. They say that a lot, man. So you can't make this up, man. They even say that themselves on the news. Oh, in the movie, what's this movie? The movie Red with Bruce Willis. When he went to this Russian guy to get help. When you watch, if you watch the movie, they show you in the movie there's a big bear, a big statue of a bear outside the guy place, the embassy or whatever it was. It was a bear, man. But you had this guy, Michael Maloof. He was the I used to do videos on him all the time from RT News before they canceled it. And he's always talking. He was defense something, defense secretary. I think he used to be. His name Michael Maloof, and he was like, man, we keep poking at the bear, and eventually this bear he gonna stand in the paint, man. It said, and the beast which I saw is like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And when you read in Rome, and when you're reading on Psalms 10, it talks about this lion. Um, First Peter 5 and 8, right? As a roaring lion, walketh about whom seeking whom he may devour to the Edomites, man. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat. And you can read that in Maccabees, First Maccabees 1 and chapter 8, man. The seat was established during the Maccabees with the Romans, man. That's where the presidency come from. That's where the Senate and the Congress and all that, man. This is that seat. The Romans established America's seat because America is the Roman Empire. And the dragon gave him his power, dragon being the Roman Empire, and his seat and great authority. America is the revived Roman Empire. So, going back to this in Ezekiel 28 and 7, behold, therefore will I bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Now this is let me get Isaiah 29 and 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work amongst this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. And this will happen to Israel first, but now it applies to who's ever in rulership now. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. This is what we're watching doing. This is what we are watching happen. In Jeremiah 49, see, in Isaiah, that was talking about Israel, man. But this applies to these Edomites, because they are the ones that's in power now. Oh, luck, I spelled Jeremiah wrong. Hold on. So let's read this in Jeremiah 49 and 7. Now, it just said in Isaiah 29 and 14, he's taking the wisdom. It said concerning Edom. So when we go back to Isaiah, because this was talking about Israel at the time, well, we ain't in control no more. Esau, Edom is in power of the earth. Therefore, behold, what I proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. So now you go to Jeremiah 49 and 7. It shows you this is the Lord now talking to those who's in rulership of the earth. Jeremiah 49 and 7, concerning Edom. Thus saith Yahweh hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So in Ezekiel 20, in Ezekiel 28 and 7, the Lord say he's going to bring the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their sword against America's beauty of thy wisdom, the beauty of America's wisdom. And the scripture tell you that in Joel, was that Joel 2, when the missiles fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. What is that talking about? When the guard shoot their missiles on America, there is no defense system that can stop these missiles, man. So when they say they shall fall upon the sword and not be wounded, it's talking about America's defense system. They don't got one for Russia's missiles, man. So their wisdom, say, is their wisdom vanished? Let's get this in the First Corinthians. Always put these three together because this is the Lord destroying these bastards' wisdom. And what's going to come against their wisdom? And it said in Ezekiel 28:7, swords, man, missiles. Isaiah, 1 Corinthians 1:19, for it is written, which I read to you in Isaiah 29 and Jeremiah 49. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. So, what we are watching is Esau Edom's kingdom. Oh, let me get this in Job 15. What the Lord say in Psalm 64:8? They shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, right? Job 15:15. For thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. What it say in Ephesians 6, right? The wiles of the devil, which word wiles mean to be crafty, cunning, conniving, right? The serpent in the garden, that nation of people with their conniving. What it say? He was more subtle than any beast of the field. Yeah, and with their tongues like a sword, even bitter words. It said, thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yeah, thy own lips testify against thee, which is in Psalms. Let's read it. You see, when you read this chapter, Psalms 64, you got to read from verse 1, because the whole time, these Edomites been shooting at us, man, by their laws, trying to destroy Jake through their policies, their GMO foods and chemtrails, contaminated waters, the philosophies, destroying our people, these rainbow sliding demon niggas. Everybody want to run around with the rainbow. They want to get on this rainbow slide. So this whole chapter is talking about how Esau been shooting at us since they've been in rulership since 1492, man. So right here say, when you read this chapter 1 through 6, it's talking about them. Matter of fact, let's read up at verse 4. Verse 3 reads, Psalm 64:3, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Because they control policies. They control everything that goes out dealing with laws, statutes. It said that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. So who are they shooting at? Who is the perfect? This is talking about the Israelites. Whether you are two-thirds or whole elect, Israel is the perfect of the Lord, man. So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of land snares privily. They say, who shall see them? The angels, you dumb niggas. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. This is what they do. They've been doing this. Studies on Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians since 1492. They know what you like, Jake. That's why they know Jake will sell out for a cheap bag, man. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them and the heart is deep. So they've been shooting at us through experimenting. Niggas running around here. The elder I run my way say, niggas running around here drinking Fago soda, Jake Reese's peanut butter cups and Snickers and shit. That shit is damn GMO food, man. Lab grown food, man. There ain't no damn Snickers in the ancient time, man. We were eating on figs, man. Fig cakes. All the fruits you can go get and make it, man. Anyway, and it's all killing us slowly, man. Fried chicken. The niggas were eating no fried chicken in ancient time, man. It's but God shall shoot at them with an arrow. See, they've been shooting at us for so long in secret. By what? Diseases? Diseases is you can't see it, but you damn sure can catch it. Those are secret moves, man. These niggas got a CDC. For what? Well, no CDC during the time of Gad and Reuben Wasn't no CDC during the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Where did shit come from? Esau, but it's through the Lord though. These are the secret moves this devil been doing. He been shooting at us since they've been in power, man. But what? Psalm 64:7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. See, they've been working overtime to get rid of us, man. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So let's get this in Job. This is Job 24 and 23. We're watching the kingdom fall, man. It reads, Job 24 and 23, though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways. Now they said in Psalm 64, they said, who shall see us? The Lord, the angels, man. They report everything. Tell that in Ezekiel 9:11. The angel with the writer's inkhorn reported the matter, man. 1 Peter 1 and 12. They go back and report everything, man. It said, though it be given him to be in safety, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. They're talking about the elites. Because your average six-pack Edomite, them niggas ain't in safety. Them niggas ride around in buckets and they stand in trailer parks, man. There's some Jakes doing better than these Edomites that we see every day in the grocery store that you work with. This talking about the elites. Though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways. They are exalted for a little while. They ain't been in rulership that long, man. They haven't been in rulership that long, man. It just seemed like that because we in these bodies and this bastard taught us to think carnally, man. Well, we thinking spiritually now, and we know the earth ain't even no more than 13,000 years old, man. Ain't no damn 65 million year dinosaurs wrong 30 million years ago. These niggas, they are the formers of lies. They are nobodies. Physicians of no value, man. Yahweh Shah, listen, 2.5 days. We done been here on earth about 3 weeks, man. At the most in the Lord's time. We ain't been here that long, man. This nigga just deceived us with his garbage ass white supremacy, man. They are exalted for a little while. Is that Job 20? But are gone and brought low. Why does this say, but are gone and brought low? This is one of my favorite precepts. Why did it say, but are gone and brought low? What did the Lord say about the white man's rulership? What's the prophecy on it? It say he shall be on his belly, and thus shall he eat all the days of his life. So though the Lord gave him some type of power, their whole prophecy is to go back to the original state, which to be on their belly, which to be, when you're on your belly, that means you're on the ground. Get on your belly right now and tell me where you at. On the floor? Where your mouth at? Damn near on the ground in the dust. So, not about you eating dust, about you being on the bottom. What's on the bottom of your shoe when you go out the door? Dust. Concrete and dust. They are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low. That's in Genesis 3. They are taken out of the way as all other. The Greeks, the Romans, the American Empire. They shall be taken out of the way as all other and cut off as the tops of the ears of corn. When you cut off the tops of the ears of corn, it go in the slop bucket and it's given to the hogs. I grew up in Mississippi. We used to have hog buckets, slop buckets to give to the hogs. Everything that you ate through the week, bones, banana peels, apple hulls, orange hulls, they went into a bucket and it was given to the hogs at the end of the week, man. That's what's going to happen to Esau. And if it be not so, who will make me a liar? This is the Lord, and make my speech nothing worth. And we know the Lord don't lie, man. When you read in Psalms 89, he said he sworn to David once, and he will not lie to his kingdom, his throne shall be as the moon and the sun, man. Let's get this. So, being brought low, right? These bastards is going back to the basis of men, man. Let's get it. Ezekiel, this is Genesis 3 and 14. And Yahweh power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thou go, and dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. Dust is confusion. And everywhere the so-called white man is in rulership at, which is in the four quarters of the earth, there's nothing but confusion, man. Death and confusion, man. We all know this. Upon thy belly shall thou go, and dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. Now in Proverbs, this is Proverbs 27 and 24, because his kingdom is falling, man. It reads, for riches are not forever. For riches are not forever, and doeth the crown endure to every generation? No. The Lord said, let's get this. Isaiah 26 and 10. This is their last, this is the so-called white man's last generation of ruling the earth in wickedness. Isaiah 26 and 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, which is Israel, will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. What does this mean? That he will not behold the majesty of the Lord. They're not recognizing that the land of Israel is holy. They're not keeping up the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. If it was, they would have no damn kosher pig. Ain't no such thing as a pig that's undefiled. Slow belly Edomite niggas, man. Those are the real niggas. It wouldn't be no parades over there in the land of Israel. Oh, it wouldn't be no weapons of war over there, because they shoot missiles back and forth at each other. Israelis and the Palestinians. And the Lord said, let favor be showed to the wicked. The Lord showed you bastards favor. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. These niggas been ruling since the Greeks. Huh? The Greek Empire is when they established their power of the sword. The Roman Empire is when they magnified the sword and their wickedness. The American Empire is when they perfected the sword and their wickedness. And if you think I'm playing about them perfecting their wickedness, let me show it to you. That's what the Lord said this in Isaiah 47. They established the sword, their wickedness with the Greeks. They magnified their wickedness and the sword with the Romans, and they perfected their wickedness with the American Empire and the sword. Here it is. So them perfecting their wickedness, the Lord said this, Isaiah 49, Isaiah 47 and 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee, how, Lord? In their perfection. See, the Edomite American Empire, they have perfected their wickedness and the sword. They have perfected how to use the sword, man. For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And that's how they do to you people out there, man. They did it to all of us. But then the Lord reactivated those who he won't. Let's get this. Let's go back to this as a matter of fact. Read this again. Proverbs 27:24. For riches are not forever, and doeth the crown endure to every generation? No, not if you're not Israel, because I was going to read this. There's only one throne that's going to be established forever, man. Let's read it. Psalms 45 and 6. Let's read this. It's Psalms 45 and 6. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter, which the Lord told King David this. Let's read this. Psalm 89. There's only one throne that's going to, now making a point about the verse I read. in Proverbs, there's only one throne that's going to endure forever, man. This is Psalms 89. Matter of fact, let me get some of this. Let's start at verse it's Psalms 89 and 20. It reads, I have found David my servant, with my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established, my arm also shall strengthen him. Right? Let's talk about King David. Right here, say verse 28. My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne, who? King David's throne, as the days of heaven. What's that mean? What's that mean? Innumerable, man. So right here in verse 34, my covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Once. We talking about omnipotent, omnipotent. He don't got to speak twice. Even though the Lord say in Job 33, he speak once, yet twice, but man perceive it not. Because it's only for the remnant to understand this. Vocab. Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. His seed shall endure forever. And what? And his throne as the sun before me. It shall be established forever as the moon and as a faithful witness in heaven. Hold on. What the Lord say up here? His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. Come on, man. What are we talking about? These Christians, man. That's why, as Elder Yashua always say, Christians don't want to deal with the throne of David, man. Because if you do, you got to go to Jeremiah 23 and 5. You got to go to Luke 1 and 31. Matter of fact, let's read them. Let's read them both. I got a few more precepts. Let's read them both. Jeremiah 23 and 5. See, this is the prophecy. This is a promise. The Lord said he would not alter what have gone out of his mouth to David, man. You can't break the words of the Lord, you dumb niggas. Jeremiah 23 and 5. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign in right, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. Because what it says in Psalm 89 and 14, justice and judgment is the habitation of the Lord's throne. In his days, Judah shall be saved, the southern kingdom, and Israel shall dwell safely, the northern kingdom. And this is his name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness. Right? Now in Luke, this is Luke 1 and 30. It reads, and the angel said unto her, fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with God. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahweh. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord, oh, it said conceive. What's the word conceive mean? It means to take in sperm. You wacky ass Christians. Mary got sperm from Joseph, you dumb niggas. And he shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. How the Lord gonna give Jesus the throne of David? Don't worry, we'll wait. And like it said in Jeremiah 23, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. Luke 1 and 33. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever. Of his kingdom there shall be no end. See? Why? Because we talk about the son of Yahweh. What the Lord said in Psalms 89, that David's throne shall be as the days of heaven, established on better promises from beginning of time, man. So let me get this. So what Esau is doing, well, what Yahweh Bashim Shah is doing, is consulted shame to Esau's house, man. That's what happened. Their rulership is full of shame, man. This is Proverbs 11:29. It reads, because remember, the Lord said that He gave them He gave them this rulership, their little wicked rulership for a little short time, right? Well, guess what? They are going back to being servants, man. Right now, we are servants to our servants, man. That's what the Lord did to us as men, as princes. To humble a prince, you put his servant over him, man. As the head brother Kemp always mentioned. This is what the Lord did to us. The Lord took us from being princes and made us servants. And took our servants and made them princes, man. That's what the Lord did. Well, guess what? These Edomites, the so-called white people, are going back to being damn servants. That's what they good at. Take these little rocks, take these big rocks, and turn them into little rocks. And if you have any problem, if you want to talk trash, we're going to cut your tongue out, and you ain't going to bleed out. And we're going to sell you to the Dicky boys. Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. And what? And the fool, what did Job call him in Job 30? What's in the Psalms 14? The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Psalms 14:1. What Job call them? They are children of fools. Yeah, they are vile men. They are base men, viler than the earth. He that troubleth his own house. What's going on with the Edomites, the Democrats and the Republicans? Who control that? The white people. What's going on? Back and forth. You got Ron DeSantis going against Trump. They going against the government. Everybody's the BRICS going against America. What's this? The Brexit, right? With Great Britain separated from America. All this is happening, man. Because the whole goal for the elites is to make everybody on all these nations, all these kings who rule the earth, go to war. They tell you in Revelation 16. Their goal is not to bring peace to the earth, man. The Lord established the so-called white man to destroy 2/3 of our people and to drag all the heathens down with them, man. Proverbs 11:29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. That's why I say in Isaiah 19:2, it's going to be the Edomites against the Edomites. See all that sedition? These Edomite, but you got these good old boys, these good old Edomites. You think you're going to take their guns from them? These Edomites, what they say? They're going to have to pry from my dead hand. That's what they say, right? You ask the Edomite about them guns, or the government going to take your gun. They're going to have to get it from my dead hand. That's a proud-ass white man. They all say that. That's their slogan. Why? Because this is their kingdom. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. Because the fools, the Edomites, they are natural born servants, man. And they going back to that state. We just got to stay waiting, stay patient, stay praying to Yahweh by Shema Bashai for patience, because these bastards is going back to being servants. All these 17 heathen nations. But Esau, his ass going to be in the dirt. Ain't no bathing, none of that. At nighttime when it get cold, you better put some water on that dirt, turn it to mud, and cover up with that, because I ain't getting you bastards nothing. You had niggas sleeping in huts on the plantation with holes in the roof. You niggas gonna be sleeping under the sky. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. And this is coming, and we are waiting patiently. Let's get Psalms, because the Lord told them not to do the same, not to do what they doing, man. He done lifted up himself. This is Psalm 75:4. I said unto the fools, and this applies to Israel first and foremost. But who's in rulership right now? I said unto fools, deal not foolishly. And how has America been dealing with these other nations? Foolishly? It's called, if you go to Google and type in economic warfare, they put sanctions and tariffs and embargoes on nations. This is what they do. That's called dealing foolishly, man. None of these nations is ready to tear their head off. So bullies don't last long, man. Bullies don't last long. Just like the so-called white man's rulership doesn't, man. It ain't gonna last long. Now everybody is against the bully, man. America has been a bully. And we seeing every day in the news every day. I'm watching the world news. They complaining. I'm watching it now, man. Everybody complaining, man. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. This is about being each and every one, all of us, humble, man. When you get proud, the Lord, what's that in Luke? One of you brothers can post that when they say, he that is exalted shall be abased, and he that is abased shall be exalted, man. We are watching. Let me show it to you. Let's get this in Luke. The Lord did it to us, man. This is Luke 1. There's another one I love to bring out. It's Luke 1 and 50. And his mercy is on them who? From generation to generation. This is prophecy in Psalm 78. The Lord's love, the Lord's mercy, his tender mercies, his compassion is to Israel from generation to generation. You can read it in Exodus 20 and 5. Deuteronomy 7 and 9. It say, he have showed strength with his arm. He have scattered the proud in the imaginations of their heart. Who are this talking about? Where we at right now? What so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are scattered at right now throughout the four corners of the earth? That's what he did to us, them who he loved. He have showed strength with his arm. He have scattered the proud in the imaginations of their heart. He have put down the mighty from their seats. See these mighty men, Israel, man. And what did he do? And exalted them of low degree. See, hold on, Daniel. And see, they got pride just like we did. Now the Lord finna put these Edomites, the so-called white man, back in the caves where he belong at, man. Put this chain on, boy. Get back to work. Daniel 4 and 17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will. What did he do? And set up over it the bases of men. Who are the bases of men? Let's find out. This is Job 30 and 1. This slow belly nigga from Watchman Report talking about Job is an Edomite. In the Septuagint, it say, Job, you dumb nigga. What would Job, how could Job be an Edomite if he talking about Edomites right here? Let's listen. There's only one nation of people on the damn planet that came out the caves, man. Huh? Ishmael ain't come from the caves, man. Elam, and it tell you that Japheth shall dwell in the tents of Shem. They ain't come out the caves neither. Let's read about who came out the caves. When you read the scriptures with an open mind, it only makes sense. Job 30 and 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. Because they just children, man. They are spiritually, mentally, and emotionally children, the so-called white people. Who the hell will own all the resources, but they want to kill niggas? You can go jet set and never see the sunrise, never see the sunset, but they were about creating GMO foods and chemtrails and contaminated waters. But you own all the resources, but they think about killing niggas. That's a child's mind, man. But now they that are younger than I have me in the region, whose fathers I will have disdain to have sit with the dogs of my flock. Job don't even want the so-called white man around his dogs. How the hell could Job be an Edomite? Because what the Edomites gonna do to your dog? They're gonna neuter the dog, they'll eat the dog, or they're gonna cut the dog nuts off, man. Because Edomites love cutting off dogs' nuts. Right? They'll eat them, they'll have sex with them, because that's bestiality laws been passed in 10 states in America. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Who passed the laws? The so-called white man, because they love sleeping with animals. They'll eat the dog, they're gonna have sex with the dog, or they're gonna cut the dog nuts off. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me? Nothing, because they were created to be wicked, in whom old age was perished. This goes in Revelations 20 when we ran the ass into the caves. Listen, for want in famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. What wilderness? Europe. Over there between Georgia and Russia, that bottomless pit, man, who cut up mallows by the bushes. If you don't believe me, go look up mallows and see what that take you back to. They love to sit around the fire and eat s'mores. That's the Edomite trait. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They ate tree bark, roots. They were, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys. Well, Lord, in caves of the earth and in the rocks. Guess what Caucasian mean? Cave dweller. You don't believe me? Go look it up. That's what Caucasian mean. Cave dwellers. Among the bushes they braid. What does that mean? Sounded like horses, donkeys, and mules. They didn't have a language. They wasn't wearing suit and ties in the caves. Under nettles, they were gathered together. They were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. I just read Daniel 4:17. The Lord set up the bases of men. Yeah, it said they were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. We talking about the so-called white man. The caves of the earth. So back in Luke 1 and 51, he have showed strength with his hand by doing what? He have scattered the proud in the imagination of their heart. He scattered all 12 tribes of Israel. He have put down the mighty from their seats, which was the Israelites, and exalted them of low degree. Who's low degree? Brought low. I just read it in Job 24. They shall be brought low. That's the prophecy in Genesis 3 and 14. On thy belly shall thou go, and dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. He have put down the mighty from their seats, and exalted them of low degree. He have filled the hungry with good things. I just read Job 30. They said they was eating mellows and juniper roots. They was hungry, so they was eating anything they could. He have filled the hungry with good things. The Edomites, the cave beasts, and the rich, which was who? Israel, have he sent empty away. We had to flee from Jerusalem with nothing in 70 AD. Nothing. It said what? He have filled the hungry with good things, and the rich have he sent empty away. This was us. But now it's returning upon their head as it fell on ours. Again, verse 54, he have hoping, mean to be helped. He have hoping his servant Israel in remembrance of his mercy, as he spake to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his seed forever. Let's get this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. So we are watching the so-called white man's rulership crumble, man. And it's all in due time. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and 8. It reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And I want to go back to this in Psalms, right here. Psalms 75 and 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So it is said in Sirach 10 and 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. What? Psalm 75 and 7. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. The Lord took us out of power. He gave it to the so-called white man. Now he's taking down the so-called white man's rulership, and it's returning back to us, man. Lord willing, would be of those men and women who get salvation on the first go round, man. Because the second one, your ass got to come back in the kingdom as a baby, which I don't want. That's going to be a horrible, grievous death. Jacob's trouble And man, was that Jeremiah 25 and 33? There shall be dead bodies from one end of the earth even to the other, man. That's Jacob's trouble, man. People dying of famine. You know how long it's gonna have to be for you to suffer from food? Which ain't gonna be long. It ain't gonna take no months. But it's good for multiple people to die of famine. Jacob's trouble gonna have to play out, man. He don't tell her how long that's gonna take. Lord willing, we be of the elect, man. Because it's finna get what the Lord is finna bring to the earth. It says it's gonna be a time as never before, man. In Matthew, also in Daniel 12, it's gonna be a time on earth that has never been as Sodom and Gomorrah, as the flood, man. And the Lord's arms is stretched out all day long. Let me read this. Let me close with this. And Jake, dumbass, man, they gonna have to find out, man, the hard way. This is Isaiah 9. Let me start at 15. Hey, all I know is we understand now. The Lord said, till we acknowledge our offense, man. Seek the Lord and acknowledge your offense. And we sorry. Forgive us, Yahweh Shema Shah. We messed up. We ready to go home now. We get it. We get it now. Man, I'm sick of this shit, man. Going to work for my servants, man. The Lord really put a humbling. The Lord did a number on us, man. The Lord did a number on us. This is Isaiah 9 and 16. But we know now. It reads, for the leaders of this people call them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and you are antichrist. If you're against the knowledge of the Lord, that slow belly, what's this chick name came on my comment board? Oh, just being me. When I was getting on this chick, talking about women are 144,000. She talk about God and set up men to tell women who they are. You slow belly. It reads again, for everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer. That makes you antichrist if you're against the words of the Lord, man. There ain't no Bible verse that say the laws is done away with, man. You're gonna die. Whoever you is out there, you're gonna die just eating a piece of shrimp. The Lord gonna kill your ass, man. You're gonna die just by eating some pork. You just wait. Keep eating that shit. The Lord gonna kill you, man. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer. Why? Because they are not listening. The Lord say his word shall endure forever. The Lord say in Luke 16 and 17, heaven and earth will pass away before his law, his words will be destroyed, man. You people is stupid, man. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. It's the 2/3 niggas. For all this, his anger is not turned away. Because the Lord got what? But his hand is stretched out still. The Lord still giving Jake time to repent, and they refuse to do it. So be it. For wickedness burneth as the fire, it shall devour the briars and thorns. Who are the briars and thorns? 2/3 of our people, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest. Where's the thickets of the forest at? America, Babylon the Great. And they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. What's going to mount up? Let me show you. Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened. How they going to be the lifting up of smoke? And the people, who, Lord? And the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. So the Lord finna have a big bonfire with 2/3 of our own people, man. When it's saying they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke, and the people shall be as a fuel of the fire, man. The Lord, throw some more on there, the fire going down. Blaze more. Put some more on there. Yeah. Edomites, all 17 heathen nations, and Jakes. And the Lord is coming for Jake first. Tell you that in Jeremiah 25, 1 Peter 4 and 17. The Lord is coming at 2/3 of Jake. And they're gonna be bunwood. They're gonna be what the elder brother in the camp always call them firewood. 2/3 of these dumb niggas gonna be firewood, man. Along with Esau Edom. I can tell you what, Isaiah 13 and 15. They're gonna be firewood, man. The water, bro. Let's read this. This is Luke 14:11. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. That's what's coming. That's what's coming, man. Yahweh is coming to take those that's exalted and make them abased. And that applies to all these your so-called teachers. You know who they is, lifting themselves up like they the Lord. The Lord is finna come take all you niggas and make you a base. And you gotta learn the hard way. Hey, the water tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Hey, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah, Bahashim Rikah Korash. The bonus to the apostles, and the bishops, and elders, the great millstone rule well, who teach well, while the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And the sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth. Throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the whole elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. I want to read this. Oh, matter of fact, I got two precepts. Let me hold this too. This been my favorite one as of lately. Job 11:20. This is Amos 91. I saw Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, stand upon the altar, which is Yahweh Shah. This is Yahweh Shah standing on the altar. And he said, smite the lintel of the door that the post may shake. This is talking about destroying America. This is Esau's house. This is his house. The elites control the world from America. So this is talking about Babylon being destroyed. And remember, it tell you in Isaiah 34:6 that Basel shall be a sacrifice, man. I saw the Lord stand upon the altar. This is the altar. Babylon the Great America gonna be a burning altar, man. And he said, smite the lintel of the door that the post may shake. That's the foundation of the house. And cut them in the head. Who? What head? The 7-head, 10-horn beast. Remember, they had a wound that was healed. Well, this wound would not be healed, man. It tell you in Genesis 3:15. Romans 16:20. It said, the God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. It say, and cut them in the head. All of them. Who? Each and every last one of these elites. Each and every last one of these who's ruling the earth in wickedness, which is the Edomites, the so-called white man. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. Who is the last of them? The elites. Remember what the Lord said? Amalek was first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he shall perish. Yes, sir. Yeah, they're going to be in them damn bunkers. And we finna put a top back on that bitch. Put this chain on, boy. Come here. Yeah. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away. See? Because they going into the bunkers. They can't leave Earth. They can't get past the radiation belt. They lied to you. They ain't going nowhere. They go in the mountains. They go in them bunkers. They finna get in a $1 billion sub yacht. They $1 trillion sub yachts and try to hide in the ocean. Guess what? There's animals down there named Leviathans, and there's a lot of them. And they look like Godzilla on TV. And they finna swallow you up. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, that's their bunkers. Thence will my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, that's the space station. Thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves, well, Lord, in the top of Carmel, in the mountains, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Who? Leviathans, man. Yeah, remember in the beginning, the Lord created animals, multitudes upon multitudes. It tell you in was that Psalm 104? They go Leviathan, they play with the ships, man. So there's no hiding from the Lord. And they know that. That's why they got bunkers. That's why they got mountains carved out. That's why they got a thing called an ark, 2 of every animal. They got a seed bank with 30 million seeds in it, real seeds, no GMOs. Because they think they're going to be able to rise out of the ashes. No, your ass finna go into captivity, boy. Put this chain on. That's what you finna do. What is that? Psalms 149. Let's get this Job 11:20. See, their best hope is right here. Job 11:20. Let me read up to 13. They talk about the elect, and then they talk about these bastards. So this is Job 11 in verse 14. It reads, no, let's read 13. Because this is the Lord got us doing right now. If thou prepare thine heart, which your heart is your mind, the word lob in the Hebrew. If thou prepare thine heart, it ain't talking about what's in your chest that just pump blood. It's talking about your mind. If thou prepares thine heart and stretch out thy hands towards him. See, remember what it said in Isaiah 9, his hand is stretched out all day long to Jake. Well, it's the same difference. Our hand is stretched out to the Lord. It say, if thou prepare thy heart and stretch out thy hands towards him, if iniquity be in thy hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle, which is your body, your spirit, your abode, which is of the Lord's. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot. Remember the Lord say he's going to hide his face until we acknowledge our offense. So the Lord has turned his face to us as we turned our face to the Lord. Man. For the Lord reactivating us to this. We don't know how long, but we got it right now. That's all that matters. Right now, today. It say, yeah, thou shalt be steadfast and shall not fear, because thou shalt forget thy misery. Remember the Lord said in Deuteronomy 28, the sole of thy foot shall not have rest. Thou shalt look for hope, and there shall be none, because thou shalt forget thy misery and remember it as waters that pass away. You know what that means? Go turn on the faucet. Turn it off. The water going down the drain. You'll never see it again. That's the iniquities of the hopeful elect, man. And remember as waters that pass away. If you at a river, the waters ain't like a pond. It just sit there. The waters on the river keep going. Hey, once you flush the toilet, that water, it's a whole different batch of water coming out. That's the iniquities of the remnant, man. It say, and thy age shall be clearer than the noonday. What is that talking about? What did Ezra say? I saw a man with a higher stature, a young man. Talking about Yahweh putting crowns on these men. Well, it tell you in Philippians 3 and 1 John 3 that we're going to get a body like our big brother, man. What's that mean? We ain't going to never get old, man. We're going to be young. What it say about King David? What Goliath said, this guy is too young to fight me. And thy age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth. Thou shalt be as the morning. What's the morning? Fresh, new, rejuvenated. We ain't gonna never get tired. We ain't gonna never get old. We ain't gonna never get sleepy. And thou shalt be secure, because there is hope. Yeah, thou shalt dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. It tell you that in Isaiah 32 that we shall dwell in safety, man. It say, verse 19, also thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yeah, many shall make suit unto thee. And that's these heathen nations that's going to come to us. It tell you that in Isaiah 2 and 1. Isaiah 2, verse 1 through 3. The nation's going to come to Israel. They going to have no other choice, or they ain't going to get no rain on their crops. And that it say, and thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Because remember, that's part of the curse of us being afraid, having no assurance of life in Deuteronomy 28, 65 through 66. Also, thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape. See, I just read Amos 9. Ain't no escaping for you white people, man. You Edomites, you bastards. And their hope, shall be as the giving up of the ghosts. They're going to want to die because they're going to be in misery for 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, rebuilding the kingdom and turning my big rocks into little rocks, you bastards. And I can't wait. Hey, the wife tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Until next time, I say Shalom. Wa, Abba,